Hello, my name is Kurniawan Arif Mospul. I'm from Indonesia. I've been living in Saudi Arabia for the past 5 years as a social worker. So at this time, I would like to bring the presentations in regards to the descriptions of the portfolio and its organizations. Explore educational equity, myself and my research goals. In our academic community, digital domain, it's time to identify ourselves and delve into the exciting world of research project. So my academic emphasis in social research, and I'm profoundly interested about deciphering the complexities of society dynamics and educational justice. So I'm thrilled to present my applied research project as well, which examines the dramatic impact of Saudi Arabia's free education system and stipend programs. So my research, which is grounded in is a theoretical framework such as social justice theory, the capacities approach, and human capital theory, seeks to investigate the impact of this initiative of educational access, equity, and student outcomes. So scholarly study on the impacts of Saudi Arabia education system policies. In the aftermath of COVID-19 pandemic, my academic efforts have led me on a fascinating journey into the implications of Saudi Arabia's free education system and allowance programs on education access, equity, and student learning results. So these initiatives as well set as a pandemic work is led by significant theoretical frameworks that provide illuminating perspective on educational policy and practice. So drawing on social theory, the capability approach and human capital theory, I hope uncover multidimensional elements of the educational policies and their implications for Saudi Arabia educational landscape. Navigating through the research project with a keen eye for scholarly rigor and relevance, the first phase of my research project entails a thorough examinations of exciting research programs based on social justice theory, which emphasizes the importance of fairness and equal opportunity in education. So I critically assess the value of each initiative in resolving educational inequities and encouraging access for all learners. So social justice theory emphasizes the importance of fairness and equal opportunity in education. So with the goal of addressing and correcting educational injustice. So by the end, by highlighting projects that adhere to social justice theory, so I wish to emphasize the significant or rigorous research and evidence-based techniques in resolving educational inquiries. Crafting summaries and reflective narratives. Guided by the capacity approach, we stress individual skills and freedoms in pursuing education. So I strive to capture education's transformative potentials, enabling individuals to achieve their goals. Through reflective narrative inspired by Sen and Nussbaum's work, I explore personal discoveries and problems faced in the pursuits of educational fairness and social justice. So in creating the summaries and reflective narratives of my portfolio, I hope to align with my teaching philosophy, which is based on the concept that they should enable individuals to accomplish their goals and to contribute to more just, equitable society. And, crafting summaries and reflective narratives. Guided by the capacity approach championed by thinkers such as Amartya Sen, I recognize the relevance of people's skills and freedom in achieving their educational goals. So in relation to my portfolio collections, I use the OneNote through the Microsoft 365. So it's been very beneficial to record all my records projects through the practice, professionals, and research artifact as well. As you see here, my portfolio is content practice, professionals development, and also the research artifacts. So how to structuring the portfolio? Drawing on the human capital theory, which sees education as an investment in human potential economic growth, so I designed the portfolio to emphasize education's critical role in increasing individuals' productivity and value in the labor market. So the portfolio visuals, the thematic coherence, demonstrate the transformational potentials of education in altering individuals and communities. So my portfolio structure represents my teaching philosophy, which focuses on empowering students to attain their full potentials and preparing them for the future success. My portfolio's visuals and thematic coherence underlines the notions of education-driven development. So embarking on a scholarly odyssey. Armed with curated portfolio with rich in theoretical ideas and empirical evidence, I began a scholarly journey to untangle the complex nexus between the educational policies and social consequences. So in the aftermath of COVID-19 outbreak, the study examines the consequences of Saudi Arabia's free education system and stipends program and education access, equity, and student learning results. So the study non-theoretical frameworks such as social justice theory, the capability approach, and human capital theory to carefully examine the effectiveness of educational program in the navigating the pandemic's disruptions. So embarking on scholarly audits as well, our investigations into the evolutions of stipend allocations mechanisms and their implications for students' academic advancement and well-being aims to provide nuanced insight into the adaptive strategies for educational initiative in Saudi Arabia's post-pandemic educational landscape. So our research aims to disentangle the various effects of educational policy on divergent students' demographics of instructional circumstances following the pandemic by this developing a diverse participant pool. So applied research project as well in this segment delves into the specific research endeavor undertaken by researchers as myself, dissecting the project's objectives, methodologies, and theoretical underpinnings. So in related to portfolio as well, it's encapsulate and integrate the explorations to the educational policies and practices in Saudi Arabia, particularly in focus impact-free education system and stipend programs. It is meticulously structured to elucidate the researcher's journey from conceptualizations to executions, anchored in prominent theoretical frameworks such as social justice theory, capacity approach, and human capital theory. So first is the segment of applied research project itself. So it scrutinized the implications of Saudi Arabia educational policies on access, equity, and students' outcome, drawing insight from theoretical framework and empirical evidence. The second is research practice portfolio. So here the researcher reflect in the myriad of the research project, examining their alignment with social justice principles and their potentials to address educational inequities. So the portfolio showcases accurate selections of projects that embody rigorous research methodologies and offer innovative solutions to educational challenges. So, which portfolio inclusion since the beginning of the M.Ed in the beginning of 2022, which since the inception of the collections of research and practice artifacts that reflects my growth as an educator and researcher. So these artifacts stored in academia serve as testament to my commitment in advancing educational equity and social justice. Some of the glimpses into the contents of my portfolio is such as advanced practice for teaching the STEM fields in the elementary and middle schools level. So the second is children's literature book research and presentations, and also applied research report, the critical analysis of Everhart's 2004 study, and also constructivist learning for inclusive ecosystem explorations and disruptive writing, and also literacy in multicultural educations. So it's more in also the theory of two applications project in adolescence development. So as well the optimizing circular economy strategies for urban waste management. Also instructional design in educations, fostering active learning, technology integrations, students with disabilities, a closer look for developmental learning and theories, reducing the hunger, and so on. So the third one is scholarly study. So this section offers a comprehensive analysis of Saudi Arabia educational landscape post-pandemic. So it's emphasizing the interconnectedness between policy interventions and societal consequences. So it outlines the methodological trajectory to the study, including participant requirement, strategies, data collections method, and theoretical foundations. On the other hand, through self-development educational research, publications, which in addition to creating comprehensive portfolio of educational publications in practice artifacts, so I have actively contributed the scholarly discourse through publications in reputable journals. Since the beginning of my M.Ed journey in 2022, I published a series of articles that reflects my commitment to advancing education and promoting social change. So these publications start on ResearchGate and academia, as well as indexed in Google Scholar, Scilab, and ICI for Index Copernicus Internationals, represent my growth as an educator and professionals. So analysis of interconnectedness among categories. The portfolio exhibits a profound interconnectedness among its categories, underscoring a researcher's holistic approach to educational inquiry. Each component informs the enrich of others, creating a synergetic narrative that elucidates the complexities of educational policy and practice. First is the theoretical frameworks, such as social justice theory, capacity approach, and human capital theory, serve as the bedrock of the entire portfolio, guiding the researcher's inquiry and shaping the interpretations of findings across all categories. The second is research projects. The diverse array of research projects featured in the portfolio reflects a deep engagement with theoretical concept with their practical implications. So, by critically evaluating each project through the lens of social justice and equity, the researchers demonstrate a commitment at addressing systemic educational inequalities. Also, the third one is reflective narratives, and the fourth one as well is methodological rigor. So across all categories, there is a consistent emphasis on methodological rigor and scholarly integrity. And the last one is transformative potentials. So it's ultimately the portfolio underscores the narrative transformative potentials of education in fostering social change and promoting equitable outcomes. So by weaving together theoretical insight, empirical evidence, and personal reflections, the researchers presents a compelling narrative that advocates for inclusive educational policies and practice in Saudi Arabia and beyond. Explanations of how portfolio reflects teaching philosophy. First is alignment with social justice. The portfolio is manifestations of my teaching philosophy, rooted its principles of social justice, equitable educations, and transformative learning experience. So it serves as a testament to my commitment to fostering inclusive educational environment, empowering students to critically engage with complex societal issues. The portfolio reflects my dedications to social justice in education by critically analyzing research project education through the lens of justice theory. And the second is emphasis of critical thinking through reflective narratives and project summaries. The portfolio encourages critical thinking and self-reflections among students. The third one is promotions transformative learning. The portfolio underscores the education's transformative, given the potentials in empowering individuals first and fostering social change. And the fourth is integrations of theoretical frameworks. And the fifth one is visuals and thematic coherence. And analysis of artifacts capturing sense on teacher identity and understanding of teaching. So the first is of these artifacts is within the portfolio offers the multifaceted glimpse into my identity as a social researcher and a teacher as well, and my understanding of teaching in the instructional process. First is engagement with research project, and the second is reflective narratives, and the third is methodological rigor, which is evidence in the portfolio reflects my dedications, methodologies, and drawing as an established theoretical framework underscores the importance of academic rigor in educational inquiry. The fourth one is visual and thematic coherence, and the fifth one is integrated of theoretical concept such as social justice theory and capacity approach. And the last one about discussions of challenges that first overcome them. First is selecting relevant objects. One challenge was selecting research project aligned with my teaching philosophy, and then as well crafting reflective narrative in the second one, and organizing the portfolio in the third one, and balancing depth and breadth as a final. And finally, descriptions of using the portfolio in teaching work. First is facilitating in classrooms discussions, and the second is inspiring research projects, and the third is promoting reflective practice, and the fourth is fostering collaboration. So the portfolio will provide a platform for collaborative learning and peer feedback. Overall, I see the portfolio as a versatile tool for promoting critical thinking, reflective practice, and dialogue about educational equity and